Hey, this is Ken Pozek. I'm an international real estate specialist here in Central Florida. And what that means is I help buyers and sellers from all over the world buy homes here in Central Florida. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about what happens when you want to sell your property and what that might mean to you, from the taxes and the marketing and how to choose an agent. Stay tuned. So there's a lot of things that you're going to need to know when you're selling your place here in the United States that's probably different than where you live. Those are going to be things like FIRPTA and the tax implications that has to have. There's going to be currency exchange and also how to choose an agent and how that might be different than where you live. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the taxes, and really specifically FIRPTA. FIRPTA stands for the Foreign Investor of Real Estate Tax Act of 1980. And what does that mean to you? Well, when you're selling your place, you're going to actually have to set aside 15% of the gross sale price. So if it's $400,000, you're going to have to set aside 15% of that with the title company until you finalize your final taxes. And so the IRS is going to decide, do you have a gain on sale? Meaning that if you bought it for $300,000 and you're selling it for $400,000, well, you're going to have to pay tax on that $100,000 gain. If you don't, then you get all of that money back. But understanding the process and how that goes along is very important. We'll also hook you up with a local tax advisor that's going to make sure that they process all that paperwork for you very smoothly. We have some of the best in the business here in Orlando, since we are an international hub, and I can connect you guys in that. The second thing you should pay attention to is currency exchange. Depending on what's going on here in the United States and also where you're going to convert your money into, is something to pay attention to as well. We work with a local currency exchange company that's going to save you a ton of money. A lot of my clients say, well, I'm just going to sell the property, throw it in my Wells Fargo account and have them transfer it back. But what you might not understand is that actually is going to cost you 2 to 5% on the currency exchange. Working with our preferred local vendor here, we use Money Corp, they're actually going to help you convert that money, send it back home for less than 1% most times. So that's going to save you a ton of money, especially if you think about the size of your asset that you're taking back home. Something to pay attention to if you're selling a house here in the United States. The next part of the process that you'll want to pay attention to is choosing the right realtor. There's over 13,000 realtors here in Central Florida, many of which have very different variety of backgrounds. Some of them have just got their license, and other, such as me, I've been doing this for over a decade. But many people don't understand the domestic versus the international side and how they differ and all of the little pain points that you're going to go through as a seller. So choosing the right agent with the experience that also has the vendor network and understands all of the things we're talking about today is going to be very important. Next, understanding that real estate is done very different here than it probably is where you're from. So I know in the UK, there's usually only one agent that does both sides of the deal. And so that person gets paid by the seller, and it's usually at a much lower fee than it is here in the United States anyways. Here in the United States, I would say that 90% of the deals are done with two agents, where the seller is paying for the fee for both. If you have any questions about that, make sure you reach out. After you've chosen an agent, a few things that you'll want to pay attention to or potential pitfalls would be understanding the rental versus the showing times. Now, a lot of you have your properties rented out while you're not here. So having a gap week during the month where we can bring in buyers and potential agents is going to be important. Also, lining up your financials that you have, all of your past rentals, and being able to give that to a buyer will put you in a better position when you're getting ready to sell your property. All of these little things are going to be important and really have to do with the agent that you choose. Having that person understand the process and the international piece and the investment piece is going to ultimately net you more money. So if you're thinking about potentially selling your second home or your holiday home here in Orlando, Florida, we'd love to be your real estate team of choice. Feel free to reach out, no obligation. We can talk about the process and what that might mean to you. My number is 407-717-0197, and you can reach out via WhatsApp or shoot me an email at ken@pozekgroup.com, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.